Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Token Black, aka Don Zalug. I make sure everybody eats. And today we're in the Edison research lab with double virus Vayu. Double virus turbo Vayu virus. I've been seeing a lot more deck devastation virus getting played. Check the top right for that card. That'll be the Different Dimension podcast episode about it. But it's been seeing more play at 1. I've seen a couple at 2. I've seen a small majority of builds play 3, but I have seen builds playing 3. So played a couple games with this build. Whatever build you guys want me to test out next, let me know. But let's go over this just really quick. This Elfin gives you more access to Armor Master. It's very rare you use the effect when it's actually summoned, but it is another level 5 or higher for Greffer. So you can special summon the Greffer and start making more of those explosive plays. So since we're going straight into the double Vayu, I opted to go triple Greffer 1 Armageddon Knight because the Armageddon Knight doesn't really go into the virus part. You know, if you're going to play just regular Vayu Turbo, you'd play 2 and 2. But in this build where we're doing deck devastation virus, I'd like to have 3. 3 of these, 3 of each, I like it. Caius is really good. If you don't have a play where you are playing into the Caius, I've used it to special summon the Greffer before and start getting things going. Also, Caius is a deck devastation virus target, so definitely keep that in mind. Triple Book, I am an ex-Gladiator Beast player, so I just really like Triple Book. Outside of that, the main deck is pretty straightforward. You could find room for another hamster, but I like this. I like to be able to get those mills off. And then the double Caius did seem bricky in the beginning, but if you can get this into this, or you know, they keep a monster on board and you can get a Caius play going, I really like that. But yeah, let's move on to the side deck. Pretty straightforward side deck. You got the World Decrees, you got that 3rd deck devastation virus again. That's the point of the build, so that's why there's playing 3. Roll Oppression in there as well, Mind Control, so pretty straightforward. Onto the extra deck again, very straightforward. I considered playing Arm Wing at 3, but it didn't really come up as much as I wanted to. You know, there are times where you'd rather have the Armor Master, or this actually helped me get over a Titanial. So I wanted to play triple Arm Wing, but it just doesn't seem necessary. I can't justify it. Everything here I've gone into or had the option to go into and toolbox my extra deck with the Plague and things like that. So let's get into a couple of these games here. Again, double deck devastation virus. Make sure you guys like the video, and yeah, let's get into it. So this is me against Wolfman. We're gonna see the set monster. Lila is a really good card. I like Lila. This deck is only playing 1, and I think that's, you know, that's necessary. Just the 1. You don't really need to have 2 and 3. You have heavy MST, so I like Ryko for what it is. We're gonna go into the Brio, and Brio's gonna get attacked over. We're gonna book a moon, the Fortress, and then the Brio's gonna get hit. So right now, this is not looking like a very advantageous position to be in. The Caius play to finish that other play off was really good. We're gonna see the Chaos Sorcerer hit the Machina Fortress. So let me tell you guys what happened there. The Chaos Sorcerer came down, hit the Machina Fortress, and then Machina Fortress effect activated and put the Vayu in the graveyard. So yeah, that it happened pretty quickly, but I just wanted to say that. So Ryko's gonna come down. Ryko's gonna mill a Sirocco, an Allure, and a Heavy. Really good cards to mill. And then we're gonna see Dark Arm come down off of that. Dark Arm's gonna come down off of that, get us into the Arm Wing, Ryko, and it looked, you know, that play was kind of a turning point, if there is gonna be a turning point of the game. But this, let me tell you something about Wolfman. Wolfman can draw Pot of Avarice. That is, look, Wolfman can draw Pot of Avarice, all right? So the Pot of Avarice play there, gets into the fortress, and then is able to get into the Caius again. Is kind of crazy. We didn't see virus that time, but we did see lines that make sense and plays that make sense. But again, Wolfman loves Pot of Avarice. All right, Wolfman starting off with Delilah, gonna mill 3. We'll be starting off with the Armageddon Knight into Plague. I think I don't like Armageddon Knight in more faster builds because unless you have something else, it just feels like the only thing you can go into is a Plague or a Necro or something like that. This build doesn't play Necro, but I've seen more turbo builds playing Necro. So Chaos Source, we're going to come down, get the Lila off the board, and then I'm going to do my own Caius play there. So the Caius play was stopped by the Imperial Iron Wall, which is a good side card against Vayu in general, really, which is why I sided the Royal Decree there. So I'm not really scared of anything right now. I'm just going in with the Caius, gonna Plague into the Dark End and get the monster off board. Good choice there because I figured it was a Raikou. Even if it was a hamster, that would have been a good choice to go into. So we're gonna see the Chaos Sorcerer attack over the Dark End, and on our turn, we'll Rhoda into the Dark Grepher. So I had Dark Grepher and Allure, and I lured into Vayu, or I lured into a Sirocco, I believe. I can't remember. Let's see how it plays out. We'll Grepher, Sirocco into the Vayu, yeah. So he'll MST the Royal Decree, I'll MST the Imperial Iron Wall, and then I can start getting plays going here. Arm Wing gonna crash into the Chaos Sorcerer just to get that monster off board. But hey, it doesn't matter what the hand situation is. It doesn't matter what the card advantage is looking like, because Wolfman's gonna draw Pot of Avarice every time. All right, we'll see the Burial coming down. I don't necessarily like Burial, but Burial has saved me a couple times. All right, so we get into the Arm Wing here just to, again, get more plays going, force him to have to attack into the gear frame. But who cares? Because he draws Pot of Avarice every time. The man... I'm playing an uphill battle against Pot of Avarice. Against Pot of... If he didn't draw Pot of Avarice, who knows? But he drew Pot of Avarice every single time. Who is this guy? Alright. We're playing again. This is another game right here. Start off with the monster set. We're playing against fairies. Well, what I thought was fairies. It's really more of an Arcana Force kind of build where you use the I don't know. It's Arcana Force though. But what happened here is he pretty much just got OTK'd. I was able to take his monster off of his monster's effect, off the flip, and kind of just went crazy from there. So he starts off with the Valhalla again. I'll go ahead and set a monster, get the Raikou on board, which gives me options of what I want to get rid of. So elect to get rid of the Valhalla because that's the problem card. You know, Swords of Revealing Light is good, but it's not the problem card. So I chose to get rid of the Valhalla just in case things got super crazy. Alright, so Light Barrier here looking good. Light Barrier is a good card. I actually read it. It lets you pick the effects you want to use. So you'll see I have to get rid of the Light Barrier pretty easily, so I'll Mind Crush the Light Barrier as soon as he searches it, and go from there. A Raikou again to hit the back row. I'm not scared of the Light Barrier right now. I'm not scared of the second choice coin thing. I'm getting rid of back row so that once I start going in, I can go in. Heavy Storm gonna get those two backward, and the Mirror Force, but you gotta respect the Mirror Force. I can't let the Shining Angel effect go off when I'm ready to go off. and looks like now I'm ready to go off. I did somewhat play around gores in this situation where I didn't want to go too crazy unless I was going to win right then. So waited it out a little bit. Again, we didn't see Deck Devastation Virus. Well, we did, but you know, we didn't get to use it. But again, we saw lines that make sense. It's Vayu Turbo. You know, these lines don't really change too often. So game 3 here, starting off with the Greffer into the arm wing loaded up play. All right. Now what I noticed here is I wouldn't say that Vayu Turbo has a problem getting over big monsters per se, but Titanial is definitely one of them ones. So I had to go into Black Rose to kind of get rid of things and then get the Armor Master play going. Having the Armor Master on board, I felt pretty safe about it, but he did Black Rose that away. But again, I had more things in hand. So in this particular situation, I feel safe. We see the Cyber Valley, but the Caius is going to come down, get that off the board, and then go ahead and attack. So Vayu Turbo doing its thing. We did see the Caius come down. I'm liking the Caius, but you know, we're not. This would be the matchup to draw Deck Devastation Virus. But again, starting off with that Greffer, getting the arm wing loaded up there, and then going into another Titanial. Titanial is just hard for most matchups. I don't really see too much Amaryllis, so I did see it in a tournament, and I was pretty excited about that. We did see the Colossal Fighter attack into the Titanial and then get some damage in, so I like that. I like Colossal Fighter right there. Battle Fader coming down. After the Heavy Storm, he's going to take the Colossal Fighter, attack into my Armed Wing, and then do it, or tribute it for a set monster. So right here, he tributed for a set monster. I was confused. What set monster do you have? Great Guardian Sphinx? Like, what are you planning right now? So I kind of remember how this played out. We're going to stack for Plague and then summon the Dark Arm there. Get the Dark Arm. I could have went to Armory Arm, done some things, played around gores in this particular situation. But that was, you know, just a really good game. And then we got one more game, Virus Vayu Turbo. One more game. Again, Trap Card 2 is the only Yu-Gi-Oh mixtape. If you search Trap Card 2 on streaming platforms, it'll pop up. And yeah, it's pretty dope. So we're playing against Lightsworn. That game, the first game just had straight booty. I'm not gonna lie, I drew terrible. And this deck, as far as drawing goes, there weren't many times where I drew and I felt like I didn't have at least a play. If I drew just Armageddon Knight, I felt like I didn't really have a play, because I thought, you know, Armageddon Knight, I can really only go into Plague unless I have another monster. So, yeah, the deck draws very well, but when you draw booty, you draw big booty, BBL booty. Alright, Lightsworn, he's going to go ahead and summon here and then attack over with the Honest. I'm going to MST that back row, get that out of the way, and yeah, it's going to make things happen. It's going to make things happen. So drew booty and then drew very good. This is game 3. We're going to see the Consecrated Light come down early in the game. I have seen a lot of Consecrated Light. You know, it's mainly for Blackwing, but Consecrated Light is still good against Vayu because you can't get the arm. You can't really start anything. So I had to get rid of that, but his hand was crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. I did have a couple things I could have done, but brain controlling the JD, I knew he had the Herald of Orange, so there wasn't really much happening outside of that game. So yeah, that's double virus Vayu turbo virus Vayu turbo. The deck drew very well. We didn't see deck devastation virus as many times as we kind of wanted to, but I know that it puts so many targets on board that when you see it, it will do something for you. So shout out deck devastation virus. I rock with you guys super heavy. Whatever deck you guys want me to test next, let me know, and I'm out of here. Yes, sir.